Every successful startup begins by identifying problems that matter. But here's the challenge: not all problems are created equal. Some are urgent, painful, and recurring, while others are mild inconveniences that customers can easily ignore. As entrepreneurs, our job is to distinguish between the two. This is where analyzing pain intensity and frequency becomes so critical. By evaluating customer problems through these two dimensions, we gain a powerful framework for identifying which opportunities are worth pursuing. The truth is that many startups fail because they chase problems that simply don't matter enough. People may nod politely when you describe your idea, but unless they feel the sting of that problem regularly, they won't pay for your solution. Pain analysis helps us separate genuine opportunities from distractions. It's the difference between building something indispensable and wasting years on a nice to have product that never finds traction. The reason pain analysis is so important is simple. Not all problems are worth solving. Some challenges are irritating but tolerable, while others create deep frustration, lost money, or wasted time. By systematically analyzing intensity and frequency, we protect ourselves from pouring resources into ideas that lack urgency. The first benefit of pain analysis is resource protection. Startups operate with limited capital and limited time. Every decision to solve one problem is a decision not to solve another. By focusing only on high value pain points, we ensure we don't waste scarce resources on low urgency ideas. The second benefit is strategic focus. When you understand which pains are most urgent, you can prioritize customer segments, design MVP features, and align your roadmap with what truly matters. This is what prevents you from overbuilding and allows you to stay laser focused on core value. The third benefit is market validation. Problems that are both high in pain and high in frequency form the strongest foundation for sustainable businesses. These are the problems that create loyal customers, predictable revenue, and strong product market fit. The key takeaway here is that market pull is stronger than founder push. When you solve problems that hurt deeply and often, customers will come to you. They will seek relief. They will advocate for your solution, and they will be willing to pay. That's why pain analysis isn't just an exercise, it's the foundation of startup success. Now let's break down a first dimension: pain intensity. Pain intensity measures how severe the problem is for customers, how much frustration, risk, or cost it creates. The deeper the pain, the stronger the motivation to solve it. There are several indicators of intensity. The first is financial impact. If the problem leads to lost revenue, increased costs, or inefficiencies that directly hit the bottom line, customers will be highly motivated to fix it. For example, businesses losing thousands of dollars each month due to invoice errors will pay for a solution that eliminates those mistakes. The second indicator is time wasted. Time is one of the most precious resources, and customers often pay to save it. Hours spent on manual processes, waiting in lines, or reworking mistakes all represent significant pain. The third indicator is emotional stress. Sometimes the cost isn't money or time, it's the frustration, anxiety, or uncertainty that comes from recurring problems. Think about how stressful it is to lose an important file or miss a crucial appointment. Emotional pain drives urgency just as much as financial pain. A strong signal of high intensity pain is when customers create workarounds or hacks. If they are already cobbling together solutions on their own, it shows they are desperate for relief. Workarounds are proof that the problem is real, urgent, and worth solving professionally. The second dimension is pain frequency. Frequency measures how often the problem occurs. Urgent, recurring problems create stronger opportunities than rare, one time inconveniences. At the highest level, we have daily or weekly problems. These are the gold standard for startups. Customers encounter them constantly, which creates urgency and habitual usage of solutions. For example, the frustration of unreliable transportation in cities was a daily issue that Uber capitalized on. Next, we have monthly or quarterly problems. These are periodic challenges that customers plan for, like filing taxes or doing quarterly inventory. They can be valuable, but they don't dominate daily workflows. Solutions here often succeed, but may have slower adoption cycles. Finally, we have rare or one time problems. These might be frustrating when they occur, but because they happen so infrequently, they offer weak opportunities. Customers won't pay much for solutions that they rarely need. The insight here is that frequent pain leads to habitual usage. If your solution solves a pain that recurs often, customers will keep coming back. This drives retention, loyalty, and predictable revenue. Startups that target frequent pain are more likely to become indispensable in their customers' lives. To combine intensity and frequency, we use the pain matrix. This tool maps problems across the two dimensions and helps us identify which opportunities are worth pursuing. The first quadrant is high pain plus high frequency. These are the best startup opportunities. They represent urgent, recurring problems that customers cannot ignore. This is the prime territory for venture backed startups because solving these problems creates strong product market fit and massive scalability. The second quadrant is high pain plus low frequency. These problems are severe but infrequent. They often lead to niche or premium solutions. Customers may be willing to pay high prices, but the limited occurrence caps scalability. Examples might include specialized medical devices or one time legal services. The third quadrant is low pain plus high frequency. These are frequent but minor problems. They often lead to low margin convenience products. Success in this space requires operational excellence rather than breakthrough innovation because customers aren't desperate. They just want small improvements. The fourth quadrant is low pain plus low frequency. These should be avoided. They represent problems with little urgency and little recurrence, making them poor foundations for sustainable businesses. The key insight is that the best opportunities live in the top left corner, high pain and high frequency. That's where urgency, willingness to pay, and scalability converge. Let's look at real-world case studies to see how this framework applies. Consider Dropbox. The problem they solved was data loss and file access issues, the source of high pain. This was also a daily frustration, as people constantly shared files and moved between devices. High pain plus high frequency led to massive adoption and retention. Dropbox didn't invent the desire for storage. It solved an urgent, recurring pain better than anyone else. Now think about Uber. The problem was unreliable taxi service, drivers not showing up, unpredictable wait times, cash-only payments. This was a daily pain for urban commuters. By solving a high-pain, high-frequency problem, Uber transformed global transportation markets. On the other hand, consider Juicero. The company raised $120 million to sell a juicing machine. But the problem it solved, making juice slightly more convenient, was low pain. It was also low frequency, since people don't drink fresh juice daily. The result was predictable. Juicero shut down, a victim of chasing a problem that didn't matter enough. The pattern is clear. Winners solve urgent, recurring pain that customers can't ignore. They target problems so fundamental that people are willing to change their behavior and pay premium prices for relief. Failures, by contrast, chase minor conveniences and low urgency opportunities. Analyzing pain intensity and frequency may seem simple, but it's one of the most powerful tools in the entrepreneur's toolkit. It forces us to confront a hard truth. Just because a problem exists doesn't mean it's worth solving. Startups succeed not by addressing every frustration, but by zeroing in on the pains that are both severe and frequent. Those are the problems that drive urgency, habit, and willingness to pay. The process begins with asking, how much does this problem hurt? How often does it occur? And what evidence do I have that customers are already trying to solve it on their own? When the answers point to high intensity and high frequency, you found fertile ground for a scalable business. When they don't, it's better to walk away early than to waste years chasing low value opportunities. In the end, great startups aren't built on clever ideas alone. They're built on empathy, discipline, and the courage to solve problems that truly matter. If you commit to analyzing pain through these two lenses, you give yourself the best possible chance of joining the small percentage of startups that succeed, not by luck, but by design.